Today I'm trying something a little different on this channel. I'm going to review the clean beauty and bath products I've been using for the past months and years. And just so you know, none of this is sponsored, nothing was gifted. I bought every product with my own money. This is just my honest experience, good and bad. Now confession time. Yesterday I did a big cleanup and I accidentally threw away the empty bottles before filming this video. So for a couple of days I will insert video shots I've taken in the past as proof that I've already used them. You will still see exactly what I'm talking about, but I wanted to be transparent upfront. I'm going to go from my most loved products, the ones I will keep buying, all the way to the ones I will never spend my money on again. And I will share not just how they performed, but also how they rank when it comes to sustainability, ingredients, packaging, and ethics. Because for me, beauty isn't just about what works on my hair or skin, it's about what's in the product, how it's made, and whether it aligns with the values I live by. So let's get into it. Starting with the product line that's been a favorite of mine long before I even dedicated myself fully to sustainability. Let's start with my number one favorite, Bjorn Axen. And I hope that I pronounce it correctly. I don't have a tripod, so bear with me. Swedish brand I've actually been using for years, way before I even dedicated myself to sustainability. Back then, I just liked how their products worked, but now looking at them through the lens of clean beauty, I realize they're actually doing a lot of things right. The products I use are the shampoo, conditioner, and their saltwater spray, and here's what I really love. Their formulas are simple, the ingredient lists are shorter than most brands, and that's always the first sign for me that a product is well made. Instead of packing in fillers and unnecessary chemicals, they stick to what's needed to actually cleanse, condition, or style. Fewer ingredients means less risk of irritation and usually a cleaner formula overall. On top of that, the textures are lightweight, nothing feels heavy, greasy, or like it leaves a film in your hair. The saltwater spray is one of the few I found that adds textures without making my hair crunchy or sticky. Now let's talk fragrance. Personally, I'm not sensitive to fragrances, but I know a lot of people are. What I appreciate with Bjorn is that their scents are not overpowering. They won't give you that cloud of perfume feeling after a shower. Their bottles are made from recyclable materials and their tubes are actually made of 50% sugarcane, which reduces their reliance on fossil-based plastics. They're also transparent about their supply chain and have a clear stance against animal testing, so yes, they're cruelty-free. For me, Bjorn has become the standard I compare other brands against. Loved them before I cared about sustainability, and now I love them even more because they align with my values. Next up is Maaii Hair. You've probably seen their pink square bottles all over Instagram. The bottle that I thrown away yesterday. This brand started in New Zealand, though production is in China, which always raises some questions around supply chain oversight. But what caught my eye at first was sleek, affordable, and cruelty-free. On ingredients, their formulas are a bit more complex than Bjorn, but still pretty balanced. You'll see hydrating ingredients like shea butter, coconut oil, all of which help with moisture and softness. At the same time, they use silicons, which makes your hair smooth and shiny, but can build up if you're not careful. So it's a mix of nourishing ingredients with some mainstream add-ins to give that salon-like finish. Just in case you know where the sound comes from. Back to Monday. Performance-wise, they do a good job. The shampoo cleanses without stripping. The conditioner makes hair soft and manageable. And I actually enjoy their citrus-inspired fragrances. They smell fresh and uplifting. That said, if you're sensitive to perfumes, some of their scents might feel a bit strong. For me personally, I love them, but it's definitely a personal preference. Now packaging. This is where Maaii is trying to stand out. Their bottles are recyclable, including the pump. They're also working on refillable options, which I think is huge. Their shipping packaging is also eco-considered, recycled cardboard, no bubble wrap or plastic fillers, even tape that's made from recycled content and soy-based inks. The only con here is that the bottles are heavier than they need to be, which increases transport emissions. Certifications. They are PETA certified, cruelty-free, and have ISO certifications to prove ethical production. That's reassuring, though, again, with production in China, I always wonder how consistent that oversight is. Overall, I'd say Maaii is a good middle ground. It's not as clean and minimal as Bjorn, but it's nice, affordable option if you want decent performance and some sustainability without going fully luxury. Now let's talk about Bilou, which honestly is one of my guilty pleasures. This is a German brand and their shower gels and foams are hands down some of the most fun and affordable products I've ever used. I'm talking €4 a bottle, which is almost nothing compared to a lot of clean beauty brands. Why do I love them? First, the scents. They have such a wide range of fragrances, fruity, sweet, fresh, and they're so good, it feels like a treat every time you shower. Honestly, some of their scents are mind-blowing. On ingredients, their lists are relatively short compared to big commercial shower gels. You will see common cleansing agents like sodium lauryl sulfate paired with moisturizing oils like almond oil and avocado oil, plus aloe vera extract for soothing. So it's not super stripped down like Bjorn, but it's also not overloaded with unnecessary stuff. For the price point, it's pretty impressive. The foams especially are such a nice texture and they don't dry out the skin, which is important for me. Now packaging, this is where I have mixed feelings. The cans are well made, better quality than some other brands I'll talk about later, but they're still cans. That means aerosols, which aren't the most sustainable option. They look and feel premium, but the environmental side isn't perfect. Sustainability-wise, Bilou talks about being vegan and cruelty-free, which is great. They also emphasize short ingredient lists and high quality standards, but their packaging choices could definitely be better. Overall, Bilou is one of those brands I keep coming back to because they just make showering enjoyable. They're not perfect, but for the price and the experience, they are unbeatable. Next up is Maaii Hair, created by Angius, sorry if I pronounce it incorrectly, who you probably know as one of the most famous hair influencers out there. I had to try her products because honestly, I've been following her for years, and I have to say the branding, the packaging, and the way the products feel in your hands are top notch. It really looks and feels premium. The products I tried are the leave-in conditioner that I throw away yesterday because the bottle was empty, and this volume spray. Let's start with the ingredients. The lists are definitely longer than something like Björn Axen, but they're also packed with interesting additions like shea butter, coconut oil, hyaluronic acid, panthenol, fruit extracts, vitamins. So yes, it's more complex, but you can tell the formulas are designed to nourish and protect hair, not just make it look shiny for a day. What I really liked is that they're vegan and cruelty-free, and the fact that Sarah is based in the Netherlands and produces there too is a big plus for me. I love when a brand designs, produces, and shapes from the same place. It reduces transport impact and usually means tighter quality control. Performance-wise, both products worked really well, and the leave-in conditioner gave me soft, smooth hair without weighing it down, and the volume spray did what it promised, gave lift without that sticky or crunchy feeling. The textures feel high-end, and you can tell they were created by someone who actually knows hair. Now the drawbacks. First, there is no ingredient breakdown on the packaging itself. You have to go to the website to see the full list, which I found a bit frustrating. For a brand that's positioning itself as a premium and ethical, I'd expect full transparency right on the bottle. Second, the shipping to Switzerland was insanely expensive. I ended up paying more for shipping than for the actual product. That was honestly a deal breaker for me when it comes to repurchasing. Overall, I think Maaii Hair is a strong new player in clean beauty. The products themselves are excellent, but the shipping barrier makes it hard for me to recommend them to everyone. If you're in the Netherlands or somewhere close where shipping isn't crazy, I'd definitely say try them. Now let's get into Moroccanoil. I know this brand has a cult following, but honestly, it just didn't work for me. I tried their curl cream, and their first thing I noticed is how heavy it felt. Instead of giving my curls definition and bounce, it glued them together and left my hair feeling greasy and weighing down. And I know argan oil can be heavy on finer hair types, but even with curls, it was too much. The ingredients list is very long, with lots of silicons and synthetic additives. That doesn't always mean bad, but in this case, the formula felt more like it was coating my hair than nourishing it. And here's the bigger issue, brand transparency. My bottle said it was distributed by a German company made in Israel with headquarters in New York. That's 3 different places for one product, and yet when you check their website, there is almost nothing about sustainability, ethical sourcing, or cruelty-free status. No certifications, no clear statements, nothing. And usually when the brand stays silent on those topics is because they're not doing anything. So for me, that's a big red flag. I don't want to support a company that doesn't even try to be transparent about how they make their products. Overall, this one's a clear no for me. I used it a couple of times and now the bottle is basically full. I'll I'll probably pass it on to someone who likes this brand, but I won't be repurchasing. Next up is John Frieda, and I think this is one of those classic brands almost everyone has tried to at some point. The product I used was Freeze Ease finishing cream with avocado oil, and to be fair, it actually works. It smooths frizz and gives a nice finish without making the hair feel greasy or sticky. For curls especially, it's lightweight compared to something like Moroccanoil. And on ingredients, the list is way what you'd expect from a mass market brand. It's not minimal, but it does include some nourishing elements like avocado oil and wheat proteins. So you get a mix of natural and synthetic, and it's designed for quick results. Sustainability wise, they at least talk about it. On their website, they've outlined commitments for 2025, reducing their environmental impact, using more recyclable packaging, being safe for aquatic environments. Whether they've fully achieved all those goals yet, I can't confirm, but I do appreciate that they are at least acknowledging the responsibility. And importantly, they're cruelty-free. From my experience, it's effective, it's affordable, it's accessible. You can find it in most supermarkets or drugstores, and it does the job. So overall, I'd say John Frieda is good enough if you're looking for something affordable and quick, but personally, I don't see myself repurchasing it because I'd rather invest in brands that are more intentional, both in their formulas and in their ethics. Finally, let's talk about Batiste dry shampoo. I have to say, this was one of the worst product experiences I've had in my life. I bought it because it's so widely available. It's in every drugstore, it's affordable, and it's marketed as one of those go-to quick fix products. But from the very first use, I knew it wasn't for me. First, the texture. Instead of making my hair feel refreshed, it left a weird residue that was chalky, heavy, and honestly made my hair look dirtier than before. It didn't absorb oil properly, just sat there. Second, the packaging. The can itself is low quality. The bottom of it actually started getting moist and leaking oil onto my shelf, and no other brand I've tried has done that, and for me that's a huge red flag on quality control. Third, transparency. When I went to look up at their ingredients, I couldn't even find a clear list on their website. The packaging itself doesn't give you much either. All they highlight is vague claims like plant-powered or 40% less packaging, but no real details about what's inside the formula, how they source it, or whether they're cruelty-free. And when a brand isn't upfront about ingredients, that tells me everything I need to know. So for me, Batiste was a total fail. This one is a hard no. I honestly wouldn't recommend it to anyone because there's so many better options out there, even at the same price point. This is my full lineup from my most loved to my least liked. Just like in fashion, not all clean or sustainable products are created equal. Some brands genuinely do the work and some hide behind marketing. For me, it always comes down to this. Does the product work? Does it respect my body? And does it align with my values? If the answer is yes, then it's worth having in my routine. If not, I move on. Because the products you choose for your body matter just as much as the clothes you put on.